Pamela Malkoff Hayes presents Drawn to Change, a guide to the creative cognitive therapy method. Positive change in your life.
Welcome, Emily.
Cannot believe it's our last session.
Oh, kind of sad.
I know, it's so crazy. I've been looking forward to this every week.
Yay. Tell me what you've been up to in the last few days.
I've been training a lot of people. Been doing the onboarding for my new job. I start on Monday, and then been starting to apply to programs for a master's. So a lot has happened since the start, since 10 weeks ago. It's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. That is so amazing. I'm just so proud of you. You've really, you set your goal and you're like, I'm going for it.
And I think the craziest part is it's been coinciding with every week that we work together. So it's like, I feel like everything's starting to come together as we're ending this, which is kind of crazy.
Could be me, could be just coincidence, who knows?
I think it's a mix for sure. I think not so much of a coincidence.
Oh, yes. So, definitely now as our last session, we are moving into the maintenance phase. So basically, we want to be able to take everything you have worked on, addressing your fears and moving past your uncertainty and, changing your perception and perspective, and just sort of hold on to that as you move into this new phase of your life.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited for you too.
Thank you.
So now you get to start living your best possible life.
I hope so.
So speaking of that, did you do your homework?
Yes, I have it right here.
How was your experience of writing your best possible self?
I like this a lot. It's weird because it wasn't like anything crazy that I wrote where I'd be like, I don't know, anything that would be unfathomable, I guess, but it was like very calming and like exciting, and I don't know, I didn't write anything like that was too crazy. It was just little things that, I don't know, that are important to me, I guess.
Well, that's great. And that's one of the things that I really kind of hope to get from this is that once you write it down and it makes you think, wait, this is achievable. This is definitely possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, exactly.
So will you read it to me?
Yeah. I said, I live in an area full of nature. I envision the ocean, sunsets, colors, and myself fully immersed in nature. I am working in the fitness industry. I'm the head of my own company, impacting people through health and wellness. I'm eating chocolate, whole foods, greens, sweet potatoes, and drinking lots of water. These foods hydrate me, energize me, and make me glow. I am listening to Jason Mraz, the ocean, waves, leaves, and soulful music. I hear the bliss of nature. I'm extremely happy, soulful, blissful, stable, content, excited, and in control. I feel fulfilled.
Wow, that was great. So you incorporated things that you are already doing, and then you just kind of expanded on that.
Yeah, I would say so.
What are some things that you have already in your life that you put in your best possible self writing?
I have like ocean and sunsets. I'm so grateful that I'm able to have that in my life. And nature too. And I am working in the fitness industry. I'm not the head of my own company, but I definitely am in the health and wellness industry. And I still do eat a lot of these foods, but I guess it's more like having a relationship with food and nature and life and just not having any stress about it. And yeah, I guess I'm always rushing. So just kind of like being stable, I guess, and not rushing as much. But yeah, a lot of similarities though.
No matter where you decide to go, you have to have access to an ocean, right?
I think so. I think so.
That's important to who you are.
Yeah, I would say so.
And even if you, for a couple of years, lived somewhere far from the ocean, I know that you would probably return. That's just part of who you are.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's like I always realize how grateful I am to have the ocean by me, but it's like, I don't know, it just makes me feel so good and like alive and energized.
Yes. Going into the maintenance phase, you are really moving towards the person that you want to be, and you are declaring yourself free from your fears, I guess. Actually, not really free. Let me restate that, because everybody has fears. You're always going to have fears, and that's true. But no matter what they are, being able to recognize them as, yes, this is something that sort of gets in my way and makes me question myself, but it's not going to stop me from pushing forward. When we did your gratitude tree, you talked about putting failure and discomfort into there and being grateful for those two things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's interesting. It's like the other day I had a situation where I felt like I didn't like feeling uncomfortable, and I didn't have to do anything with exercise because that I like. And then like you saying that now made me realize it's like, I do like that, like I should, anytime like a situation is uncomfortable, it's good to know like you kind of live for that. Like you have to kind of change your mindset when you're in those situations.
Right. And those things are really important. And I just think it's really important to recognize that. And even though you recognized it a couple of days later, what you're going to find is that as you start to become aware of your thoughts and your fears more and more, then you'll recognize them more quickly. And then you can recognize them as just thoughts, not as actual threats to yourself.
Right.
So we are declaring you independent of letting the fear stop you. I asked you to bring some colored paper.
Yes.
What'd you bring? Yay. Oh, you have a couple of different colors. Awesome. I want you to think of yourself as your own country. You're the country of Emily E. And you are declaring yourself, you are writing your declaration of independence from fear and from uncertainty. And we're increasing your emotional wellness. And one of the things that really drew me towards asking you to be a part of this was a statement you had made online about, taking care of your mental health is as important as taking care of your physical health.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I love that you recognize that, because I think that not as many fitness professionals talk about mental health. They only talk about physical health, and that's something I really try to focus on.
Yeah. And I think it happens the other way too, that not as many therapists and psychologists always talk about physical health and only talk about our mental health. So, us combining efforts is so important.
Yeah. That's very true, because so many times like you could just feel so much better mentally by moving your body.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One of the things that I do for myself, but I also suggest that my clients do, is to every day look for something that I refer to as vacation quality moments. Like, so it's nice to have a vacation to look forward to, but that's such a short period of time in our life or our year. And so if we could find little vacation quality moments every day, that means that I get to be happy today. I don't have to wait until I'm somewhere else, or I don't have to wait until the weekend or whatever. So like for me, getting up and doing yoga at sunrise. That's like a vacation quality moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not the waking up part. No one likes that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that you do that every morning. That's very special.
It is. Thank you. Another vacation quality moment for me is my first cup of coffee in the morning. And also, like, I have certain body washes and lotions that I just love the smell of. They just make me so happy. And so I really am like, wow, that's a vacation quality moment. What are some ones that you can sort of carry with you during like your everyday? What are ones that you can label vacation quality?
I mean, every morning I've done this, like, I used to always stretch every morning, but like now I do it a little bit longer, and I meditate every morning and journal every morning. And that's something I've been doing during quarantine that, like, I definitely want to keep that going,
Yes.
which is really special to me. And what else? In terms of every day, like, I think this is something that I struggle with, and I do need more of that, like, me time that I do need to incorporate into my everyday life. So I try to go on, like, walks as much as I can. I don't think I do as much as I should, but just like going out and just not even having a phone or listening to music, just kind of like being. I think there's always ways that I can do better in that field, I guess.
Yeah. But maybe there's things that you're already doing that you just have to put that label of vacation quality on me. Like,
yeah.
Maybe you absolutely love your pillow. It's a vacation quality pillow, right?
Yeah, or cuddling with my dog, or like reading my books at night. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's something I love. I love getting in bed right before I go to sleep and just reading, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it makes a difference for sure.
You are going to create a flag that represents your new state of being.
Oh.
Okay? So you can use scissors, you can use glue, and I want you to consider what colors represent you. And you know how in the American flag we have 13 stripes because we have 13 colonies, and we have 50 stars because we have 50 states. I want you to think about different shapes that you want to use. I want you to think about how many, because we've talked before about, unconsciously you've put 4 palm trees on your island to represent maybe your family of origin. So think about the numbers that you use, the shapes that you use, and what do you want to say about who you are and who you want to be. Like the state of California, we have a bear on our flag, right? And so for me, that represents something really strong and powerful, and nature, and that we have a lot of forests here and things like that. So, well, what I want you to do is I want you to do it as a collage. So if you have scissors, I want you to you can draw, you can cut out different colors as if you are creating, a flag of different shapes and colors.
Should I just be gluing, or should I also draw?
That's up to you. Do you feel like you want to combine the two?
I don't know. I feel like it's going to look better with just cutting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, tell me about your flag.
Here is my flag. I don't know like what it symbolizes, but I love colors. I love brightness. I thought of like mountains. I thought of the ocean. I thought of like different colors that excite me. I thought of, here's a sun, here's a tree. Yeah, we have a tree, a flower. This is ice cream. like I just have a lot of mountains, oceans, like things in nature that's cool, like swirlies. Yeah, but I don't know, like the colors are really, I think, what symbolize me.
I think that's so great. And what's really interesting about that is that you use some of the same symbols that we've seen before, the swirls and that it's almost that lightning bolt shape, but now you've sort of turned it on its side, and it no longer represents aggression or fear, but it represents something else, right? What does it represent now, do you think?
I think it also, like what you said, independence and me kind of finding my path and like being dominant over and in control and excited about it.
Any thoughts about like the number of triangles or circles that you use? Did you put thought into that, or did you kind of just let it happen?
I think I just let it happen. I let it flow.
So as one more thing that we're going to do together, I'm going to have you actually write a Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
So set your flag somewhere where you can look at it.
Okay.
In the United States, the Declaration of Independence starts off by saying, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to another. So, the way you're going to start off your Declaration of Independence is to write, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for me to dissolve my connection with. And you can write my fear of uncertainty, or my fear of the unknown, my fear of the future, right? So what is it you want to dissolve your connection with? It could even be your negative thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, then the next part of the U.S. Declaration of Independence is about just why they had to disconnect from the kings, from the British rule, right? And so what I want you to think about is, how did your negative thoughts control you? And what did it make you do or stop you from doing? So I want you to write something like, my negative thoughts controlled me by, or they insisted that I do or not do something. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the third part of the U.S. Declaration of Independence is the denunciation, where this section essentially finishes the case for independence, and then it sets up the rules to move forward on their own. So basically, I want you to think about, what rules or practices do you need to put in place in order to live your life free from your fear or your negative thoughts. So what are you going to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly basis, to make sure that you don't get trapped back into those fears and negative thoughts? You know, examples of these could be like, I am going to get enough sleep. Or I am not going to beat myself up if I, have a day where I don't eat perfectly.
Okay.
Okay. And then finally, your Declaration of Independence is going to have a conclusion. And what are your rights now as you are declaring yourself independent? So what are your rights once you are free? So examples of that would be you have the right to happiness and contentment. You have the right to pursue a higher education or your desired career, right? You have a right to have positive, healthy, supportive relationships. What rights are you giving yourself?
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. That's it for your Declaration of Independence. Will you read to me what you wrote?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, really cool. Oops. So I have, so when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for me to dissolve my connection with my fear of the unknown, negative thoughts, uncertainty. I said discomfort in a way of like, there's discomfort that I seek, that I love, and then there's another part of discomfort that like I don't want. So it's almost like not wanting the negative part of the discomfort, like wanting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unsettling thoughts, being unfulfilled, and then my negative thoughts controlled me by not allowing me to face fear and get to my goals, pursue my dreams, face discomfort, and feel free or fulfilled. And then rules or practices to live by, to live my life free of negative thoughts. Meditate, journal, and stretch every single day. Get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Not beat myself up if I'm off track with food or exercise. Do yoga at least once a week. Always continue teaching. Eat sitting down and slowly and mindfully and just taking deep breaths. And then rights to declare my independence. The happiness, contentment, fulfillment, positivity, healthy and supportive relationships, health, happiness, support, so that fulfillment, energy, travel, adventure, exploration, movement, no restrictions.
You are giving yourself a lot of rights. I love it. I love it. You know, and hopefully that's something you can refer back to, and you're like, look at it and say, you know what? Yes, negative thoughts will come back to me, fears will come back to me, but if I keep myself on track or put myself back on track, these are the rights that I have to live my life by.
Yeah, that's a really cool activity.
I like that. With my clients, I always try to do some kind of activity that relates to whatever holiday is coming up. So I made that one up, obviously, during 4th of July a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Oh, you made it up? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a thing that a lot of people. Wow, that's really like very cool, because I've never heard of that before.
And now you have your own flag to determine your state of independence and yourself, and you have your Declaration of Independence. And as you move towards your best possible self, that allows you to live at the ocean and be in nature and working and having your own business and all that. And that doesn't mean that you have to wait until you have those things in order to have these rights. You get these rights right now.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, no, it's like, felt good to write it down.
I think so. And like you said, you're really enjoying doing some journaling and writing anyway. And I think it's a good exercise to do.
Yeah, no, it's very liberating, no pun intended.
Wave your flag.
Right? Seriously.
Emily, you did such a good job, and I'm so proud of the everything you've accomplished in these last couple of weeks that we've been together.
Thank you so much. It's been such a privilege to work with you, and it really is crazy that it's come into a full circle with my life and this program as we end. So I really thank you for your guidance and just help with everything along the way.
Oh, and thank you. Yay, you are so welcome. And I feel the same way. Privileged to work with you.
Thank you so much for everything. Really, I'm going to miss seeing you every week.
I know. All right. We'll talk soon.
Thanks so much. I'll be in touch.
Get more information at hazarttherapy.com, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.